everyone, and welcome to the start of a new reading vlog and further festive adventures. I'm really looking forward to going to Castle Howard today, which is an amazing ancestral home in Yorkshire, and every year they do a really incredible Christmas installation that's set up all in the rooms of the house, and it's just glorious. We went to the Narnia one last year, and this year it's Into the Woods and Fairytale characters. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to head there a bit later this morning. But I wanted to pop on first and just introduce this vlog and also catch you up a bit on my reading. So over the weekend, I read two books. I read Wintering by Catherine May. And so I'm ready to discuss this for the Comfort Book Club this week, which is great. So I won't chat too much about this now because I'll be doing a whole video book club discussion of it. I really enjoyed rereading it though. I first read it just before the pandemic hit, and it was quite bittersweet coming back to it over 2 years later, but it was still a really powerful and moving read. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I happened to get this Slightly Foxed book in the post. The team at this publishing company very kindly sent me their latest publication. I adore Slightly Foxed. It's one of my favourite independent publishers, and they republish classic memoirs. And their latest is The Prince, the Showgirl and Me by Colin Clark. And I picked it up, and then once I picked it up, I just couldn't put it down, and I ended up reading it really quickly over the weekend, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it's got this amazing sort of gossipy tone to it. It's all sort of excerpts from Colin Clark's diaries when he was a young man of about 23, 24, in the late 50s, I think. And his parents were very good friends with Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh, and he very much wanted to get into the film business himself, and he managed to sort of talk himself onto the film set of the film The Prince and the Showgirl, which starred Laurence Olivier and Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was notoriously difficult to work with, and in this book Colin Clark proves that all of those rumours were true. She was incredibly difficult, but I found it fascinating to read this. I felt so sorry for Marilyn Monroe actually as I was reading this. There's so much misogyny that was so much a part of that time that runs all through this book. I think Colin Clark himself actually felt quite sorry for Marilyn Monroe too, and understood the sort of huge pressures of fame that she was under, and he wrote about everyone just kind of wanting a piece of that fame, wanting a piece of her, and that she really just wasn't kind of coping with those pressures of stardom. But he certainly used women himself for his own personal gain or personal pleasure, and so there's a lot that is that hits you quite hard when you read about the time and you read about sort of Hollywood, or this was all set in London, but the kind of Hollywood of big film of that time, and you realise what it was like for women, and it makes fascinating reading. It is also like sitting down and just having a gossip with a friend who happens to know all these famous movie stars, so it's really fascinating for that too. And I just, like I said, I couldn't put it down, and it was quite compulsive reading. So definitely one I recommend, especially if you're interested in that golden age of Hollywood era, then I think you would find this such an interesting read. So I do recommend it. And then I've been thinking about what to read next, and I think I want to read The White Priory Murders, A Mystery for Christmas by Carter Dixon, and that was a pseudonym for John Dixon Carr. And the British Library kindly sent this to me. It's part of their British Library Crime Classics series, and it was the new one out for October. But as it's such a Christmassy read, I thought it would be a great one to start now. And I have just started it, and I've been really enjoying just the first few pages. It says, James Bennet has been invited to stay at White Priory for Christmas among the retinue of the glamorous Hollywood actress Marsha Tate. Her producer, her lover, the playwright for her next hit, and her agent are all here, soon to become so many suspects when Tate is found murdered on a cold December morning in the Lakeside Pavilion. This actually seems like coincidentally it will be quite a good companion read, having just read a book all about the real sort of Hollywood of that time. This sounds like it's also about big personalities in Hollywood, so that might be a really interesting one to be reading, having just read the Colin Clark Diaries. So I've started this and I'm looking forward to reading more. And then I thought I'd just share a few books that came in the post. So the British Library kindly sent me their November release in the Crime Classics series, and that's The Mysterious Mr. Badman, a Yorkshire biblio-mystery. This sounds great. For one thing, it's set in Yorkshire, which I love to read books set in Yorkshire, of course. And it's also a biblio-mystery. So I think a lot of this mystery centres around a valuable book that is stolen and then worse things start happening. I love biblio-mysteries. What bookworm doesn't, I think, sometimes. And I'm eager to read this one. So I was really thrilled to get that. So this is going on my to be read soon pile. And then on my last reading vlog, someone asked if I'd ever read the sort of sequels to The Wind in the Willows that were written by William Horwood. And I think his most famous one is The Willows in Winter. And I had read this when I was young, so like well over 20 years ago. I think I maybe even had an audiobook of this. I have to remember to look it up on Audible and see if it's there and see if I recognise it, because I have this faint memory of listening to it. But I'm not sure, but I definitely had the book, and I had Toad Triumphant, which was one of the sequels as well. And it really put me in the mood to reread this. It's been so long, I don't remember it. So I ordered a second-hand copy. I think they are out of print now, but I managed to find a second-hand one. And then when I was looking them up, I realised that William Horwood had also written this one, The Willows at Christmas, which I don't think I've read before. I really remember The Willows in Winter and Toad Triumphant, but I don't think I had this one, or at least I certainly didn't read it before. And I'm tempted to start this week too. Apparently, chronologically speaking, this is the one that follows the action of The Wind in the Willows, and then The Willows in Winter comes after this one. So I think I will read this one and then The Willows in Winter. But this just looks really charming, and it's illustrated by Patrick Benson, so it has some really sweet illustrations through it, and definitely a nice cozy festive read. So I'm looking forward to getting to this one as well. But yes, so anyway, that's what I've been reading, what I'm about to start reading this week. I hope it will be a good reading week. I'm definitely looking forward to some cozy wintry evenings curling up with a book, so we'll see how it goes. But I better get ready to go off to Castle Howard, and of course I'll take you along with me. So we're back from Castle Howard. It's just a bit after 5 o'clock now, and we had a wonderful time. I so recommend their Into the Woods Christmas installation. It put Mum and I in a really festive mood, and I thought it was spectacular. I mean, I really loved the Narnia one that we saw last year there. That was very, very special, especially because I love The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe so much. But this one was really wonderful too, and all of the different fairy tale characters were just so cleverly represented. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So yeah, we both had such a fun afternoon. It was really lovely, and we picked up a few things in the gift shop. I really love the Castle Howard gift shop, so I thought I'd do a little shopping haul with you because I got a few things. Emily Sutton is one of my favourite artists, and she's from Yorkshire, and she did the artwork for the exhibition, but she also did some things for their gift shop, which I was so thrilled about because last year I'd been really hoping that they would have had some Emily Sutton decorations and things like that, and they didn't, but this year they did, so I was really happy. So I got these really sweet coasters, sugar plum fairy coasters, which of course I couldn't resist. And she had another design in coasters, this pretty little bird design, which I thought was so sweet as well. And they did them as Christmas tree ornaments too. So there's the sugar plum fairy ornament, which I think is really adorable. I also got an ornament in the bird design as well, which I thought was really lovely. So I was so thrilled to get some pretty little Emily Sutton Christmas ornaments. And then I also got the bird design in some Christmas cards, and I got the sugar plum fairy in Christmas cards too. And then I got the tea towel because I couldn't resist the lovely tea towel that's made from the poster of this year's Christmas installation. So I don't know how much you can see of that, but it's very, very charming and will always remind me of a very happy Christmas. So I was thrilled to get that. Mum had the bright idea, she picked up a couple of the little leaflets because she thought just this bit here would make a really pretty bookmark, which I thought was a great idea. So we're just going to sort of cut that bit off to make a bookmark. I think that's really clever. And then I got a couple Emily Sutton picture books too. So I got The Tale of the Castle Mice, which Emily Sutton has illustrated. This was written by Michael Bond of Paddington Bear fame. And they're such sweet little stories, and she's done marvellous illustrations. These stories are about mice that live in a doll's house, and they're so sweet. And I hadn't seen these before with her illustrations, so I was so thrilled to get them. Like I said, I'm a big Emily Sutton fan. I have a lot of her artwork around the house, and here is the other one. This is The Ups and Downs of the Castle Mice, also really adorable, so couldn't resist these when I saw them in the gift shop. And then I also just picked up a couple of placemats in the Emily Sutton design too. So this table mat, which I think is so pretty, and then the sugar plum fairy one as well, which is wrapped up. I'll just unwrap it. I thought these will be really nice either as placemats or to use as sort of hot plates. They'll be really useful for that. And then I've got a bag of goodies from the sort of deli that was there here. So I'll show you what I got. I got some luxury mince pies that are wrapped up in this. So I have to get them out, but we haven't had any mince pies yet and I just couldn't resist them. They looked really good, so I'm excited about those. Some celery, a bit boring, but we're going to have a cheese board this evening because we ended up having a really late lunch at Castle Howard, so we're both still pretty full. So we thought a nice cheese board and a glass of wine this evening will be utterly perfect. So celery sticks for the cheese board. And speaking of the cheese board, I got some Somerset Brie that's wrapped up in here and a bottle of mulled wine, which we'll definitely enjoy at some point soon. Felt good to get some mulled wine into the house, so I'm pleased we've got a bottle now. And then I also got a little ready-made marzipan stollen. I love stollen, and I also just wanted some cake for some photography that I have to do, and it's always really useful to have a cake that I can cut up for that, and all the better if I enjoy eating it too. So I got a little stollen, which I'm sure will be lovely. And then I was so thrilled when I spotted these little mugs. Let me unwrap them. So a little robin mug. You know how much I love robins, and I couldn't resist this little cutie. This is by, I don't know if you say Gisela Graham or Gisela Graham. I've heard both. But I love her Christmas ornaments and her ceramics as well. So I was so thrilled to pick that one up. And then I got a matching one for me, one for Mum. So this one really had Mum's name on it. I love the robin, and then she loved this sweet little Christmas pudding one. So we've got little robin and Christmas pudding matching mugs. I think they're so sweet. We're gonna have our mulled wine in them too. That would be nice. So yeah, so that was what I got in the gift shop. I did very well, but yes, I highly recommend checking out their gift shop if you ever find yourself at Castle Howard. It's really nice. And I was so thrilled to get those ornaments. I think I'm gonna go hang them on the tree now, and then I'm gonna get the cheese board together, pour a glass of wine, put the electric fire on, and get really cozy. So I've just thrown a cheese board together very quickly. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, we aired quite late, but actually it was a really busy day, wasn't it? It was fabulous fun, but we went all over. It was lovely.
It was lovely, wasn't
it?
It
really was.
And now we just feel like a little bit of wine and cheese, and we're going to sit down with our books. I'm going to keep going with the mystery I just started.
And I'm keeping going with wintering.
Yes, you've still got a bit of that
I've still got a bit more to read, so I've got to get going on that. I've got Beaujolais Nouveau. So
yes,
very nice, won't
traditional for November.
Exactly.
Yes, do you want to pour us a glass? How nice.
Oh,
and you've got
nice.
your Bosey.
Oh, I have, that you got me.
Fingerless gloves on. It's hard to part her from those.
Yeah, it gets really cold in here sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got the fire on in the day yet, have we? So
no, but it's on now. It's
well
lovely
done.
and cosy, isn't it?
It is. It's very cosy. I might take my gloves off any second.
I bet she won't. I got her a new pair because the old ones were like holes in
through.
Them,
I know.
And I'm still telling you have to throw them out.
Well, it seems like I could use them in the garden or something.
They're more whole than anything else.
That's true. She's right. She's right. Aww.
Oh, well, cheers.
Cheers, darling.
Let's get cosy with our cheese, wine and books.
Sounds good to me.
Good morning, everyone. It is now Thursday, and I'm going to be filming the Comfort Book Club discussion of wintering later this morning. I'm waiting for Mum to get home. She's actually at the hairdresser's at the moment. We had fun yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to film yesterday because I had just had a lot going on myself in the morning, and then in the afternoon I took Mum into Harrogate to do some Christmas shopping. I've essentially given her sort of big Christmas gift early this year because I really wanted to get her some new clothes, and I knew she'd really appreciate having these clothes before we go to Bath next week. And she wanted a nice outfit for when I'm doing my talk at Persephone. So we had a really fun afternoon. We went into Harrogate, and there's a lovely department shop there called Hooper's, and they had a 30% off sort of Black Friday type sale. And I found her some lovely things. I might get her to show them later if she doesn't mind posing for the camera. And then I also booked her in to get her hair done this morning. So she's laughing because I sent her off with a picture of Juliette Binoche that I found, because I thought the hairstyle was really nice and would really suit my mum. And she said the hairdresser's going to laugh at her and say that she's not going to be able to do that with her hair. But I think maybe that this hairstyle would really look nice on her, and I'm sure they'll be able to do something. So I thought it would be nice for her to get her hair done as a little pre-Christmas treat as well. And because we're practical in this kind of way, I thought, why not book it for the morning that we're going to film the Comfort Book Club discussion, so she can look extra good on camera for the discussion. So I'm just waiting for her to get home, and then we're going to film that. I also want to do a few festive things today as well. I missed Stir Up Sunday itself, so I'm going to do my Stir Up Sunday today. I did also want to catch you up on my reading so far. Let me just have a sip of my tea. I was going to read a bit more of my mystery this week, the Christmas mystery, but in the end, I actually picked up The Willows at Christmas, and then once I started, I just wanted to read more. So I am now at page 106. You can see Mum did very cleverly make those bookmarks, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just very, very sweet and cozy. I love the illustrations through it as well. There are some colour ones which are lovely, as well as lots of black and white ones. They really add to the charm, I think, of the story. I like this illustration a lot. It's entitled A Second Glass of Mulled Wine and Toasted Crumpets. And this is all about how the mole discovers that Christmas isn't celebrated as much as he thought it would be by the creatures of the riverbank. And it turns out that this problem with a lack of the festive spirit originates with Toad at Hall, and a very unwelcome guest that he has to receive every Christmas. This year, the mole is determined to bring the Christmas spirit back to himself and his friends and the village and the riverbank. And it's all about how he sets about doing that. So it's just a really charming little story, and it's very much putting me in a festive mood. But anyway, I have to get going with organising the Comfort Book Club discussion. I always write up a sort of structure to our talk, so I also know when to insert all of the voice message contributions. So I have to get going and get that done now, so that when Mum gets back we can pretty much just start filming. But I'll catch up with you later today. Mum is home and she looks lovely.
Oh,
look at that hair.
Thank you.
Let's do a little turn.
Don't you think it's the best cut I've ever had?
It's so nice.
I absolutely love the style, and you're so right. And he didn't laugh. He was such a lovely hairdresser.
I think you look very Juliette Binoche. You look very you look very elegant. It's lovely.
Oh, well, there was this old film with Julie Walters and someone else. But anyway, I remember there was this scene in it where, you know, all these women going to the hairdressers and saying, I want to look like her. And of course it's Lady Di in those days, right? And I felt a bit when I was like, my daughter said I should show you this picture.
You look lovely.
No, I'm thrilled with it, and I love the way it is. I got so tired, I think, of having it, you know, so that we could trim it and keep it during lockdown. I was just nervous about going to the hairdressers and everything.
Yeah.
But now I just feel, oh, what a wonderful present. Thank you so much. It feels Christmas is really coming early, and I'll look presentable even. Persephone.
You'll look lovely. I think that's such a nice style on you. More layers, and you look lovely.
Oh, you're my best fan. Thank you so much.
I'm so pleased. Just before we start filming, I'm very excited because I got a delivery that I've been waiting for quite some time. This has come from France, and I had to have it re-delivered a few times because we were out. But I'm very excited. It feels like Christmas has come a bit early for me too. So I ordered some things from Fragonard, which is a French company that really specialises in sort of perfumes and room diffusers and soaps and that kind of thing, but they do some lifestyle products as well, and they did a collaboration with Emily Maud. I've already told you about her anthropology collaboration, but I'd really wanted to get some things from the Fragonard one as well. These, because I ordered, they give you some freebies, and these are freebies that came, which I'll unbox in a minute. They sent some wrapping paper for free too, which is so nice. And then this, I think, is a table runner that I chose as another freebie, but I'll unwrap those in a second. Let me open this up, because this is one of the things I ordered. I just love Emily Maud's artwork. I think it's very Bloomsbury inspired. It's quite sort of Vanessa Bell inspired, and she uses a lot of British ceramics and things like that in her artwork. But this should be a tray of hers that I ordered. So let's get into it. Oh yes, I'm so thrilled. I think that is gorgeous. It's such a pretty tray. I just love the ceramics and the tulips and all the designs around the edge. I love the gold trim to it too. I didn't realise it had that, and that's really attractive. And on the back it just says Emily Maud with Fragonard. So I'm so thrilled. I think that will be really lovely. I love having trays to just put some tea and a book or breakfast or whatever on. And I think that one will be really special. So I'm overjoyed with that. You'll look lovely in photos as well, which is always a plus too. And then, I got 2 Emily Maud cushions, and it's already stuffed. I didn't realise there would be a bit of a stuffing in this one. That's really nice. I think that's adorable. I love the cat and the mug with the flowers. I think that's so pretty, and the sort of pink lusterware mug is so beautiful as well. And the ceramic hat, absolutely adorable. I love that. I don't think I can put a different cushion in. It doesn't look, oh no, there is a zipper. Oh, that's good, because there is padding in this, but I might want to put a bit of a thicker one in. This is a bit thin. I'm not sure. I'll have to sort of see where I want to put it in the living room, but you can remove the padding and put your own in, so that's really nice. So pleased. And then I ordered one other one, because I either want to put these in 2 armchairs that are in the living room or on the couch, because we really need some cushions. The ones we have on the couch came with that sofa when we got it second hand, and I've been wanting new cushions for ages. When I spotted these, I just couldn't resist. Let's open this one up. But I also think these might look nice on the 2 armchairs, so I've got to decide where to put them. And here's the Staffordshire dog. I thought that these two together made such a pretty pairing. I just love that. Oh, it's utterly adorable. And yes, I think the two of them together are going to look really sweet. So I'm really, really thrilled with those. I'll open up the little freebies that they sent. It was really fun. You could sort of choose from a little selection which freebies you wanted, and I went for very kind of Christmassy china plates and then the table runner. But it was hard to tell on the pictures online what they'd really look like. So I'm very curious to see. Oh, that's really sweet. I love that little plate with La Belle Vie on it. I love the Christmassy colours. These will be handy just for little Christmas tea parties. Oh, I love this one, the little heart. That's really adorable. But I think that one's my favourite. I love that. And I wonder if they're all the same in this one. Really nice to get some little plates. That's always so useful at Christmas time. I think these are the same. Yes, so this is the same set, but it's quite nice to be given 6 of them. I think that's really nice. And they're quite a handy little tea party size. Lovely. So that's really nice. And then I also chose this, I think it should be a table runner, because I thought that would be handy. I love seasonal linens and changing things up a bit, so I hope this will be nice. But it's a nice freebie to get anyway. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. Very festive. Folds out to a proper table runner length. But I like that. I think that will be really nice. I've got either a dark green or a sort of burgundy red. And I think that would look nice, either of those, underneath this table runner. I do also have a gold one that's on the table right here, and that might be nice underneath as well, because there's a bit of gold on the holly. But yeah, I think any would work really, so I'm very happy, and I think that's lovely. I'm so pleased. How fun! I just ordered a couple of cushions and the tray, and then got quite a few freebies with that too, so I made it a very fun little unboxing. So I'm really, really thrilled. I wonder if I should use these cushions on the armchair. We're about to film the Comfort Book Club. I'll go have a look. Maybe I can put them on. I mean, we'll be kind of covering them anyway, but it might look nice, so I might go do that. And finish my setup. Mum is desperate to make a cup of tea, so I'm going to let her in to put the kettle on now. And yes, I'll see you again in a minute. I'm in the process of setting up for filming our Comfort Book Club discussion, and I think I will leave the cushions on. Look how sweet they are. I'm so thrilled. I think they really suit these chairs actually. They brighten them up a little bit. I think I'll leave them in for filming our discussion. They're so sweet. So we've just finished filming the Comfort Book Club discussion, and Mum wore one of the blouses that I got for her from Sea Salt in the video, and I said she should model her Christmas presents from me. So here she is.
Yes, the most unlikely model ever, but yes.
No, you look lovely.
Oh, I was so impressed with your sea salt things.
Yes.
And you said, oh, I think actually you should try the tops, Mum. You might like some with your trousers.
Yeah.
It was so right.
Yeah, I love this one on you. The colours really suit you.
I love the colours.
Green always suits you because you have green eyes.
Well, yeah, and it always makes me feel a bit
Yes.
Sort of green.
Yeah.
I love the print on it with the leaves. I think it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks lovely on you. So this is just a more sort of casual but handy sort of top.
And it's lovely and soft, actually. It feels nice and soft and cozy.
Yeah, that's lovely. So I got her this from Sea Salt, and then do you want to change into the outfit you'll wear to Persephone books?
That's all right.
Okay, so quick change later.
Yes, very quick change.
Here you are, looking lovely.
Oh, well, I just love this. I love beiges, and I know that they're never really fashionable, but I've always loved beige, and I love the pleated skirt, I love the cashmere sweater you got me, and this lovely cosy cardi. And I'm just so delighted with it all.
Well, I think you look really elegant.
You're very kind. I'm just aiming for presentable, but I'll take elegant.
No, you look so nice, and those colours do really suit you, and I know that you'll be nice and warm and cozy in them.
You got me something that's so cozy, and I'm such a cold body. I really love to feel cozy.
Yeah, you do feel the cold a lot, don't you? Yes. And I thought you'll be able to wear each piece individually as well as together. They look really lovely together. Yeah, I think that you're going to look absolutely lovely.
Thank you, honey.
Well, that was fun to do a little fashion show with Mum, but I have to get on with some serious editing now, so the Comfort Book Club is ready, and Mum's going to kindly make me some lunch when I start working, so better get going. Hi again, everyone. So I've got my Christmas pudding mixture here, which Mum and I got together last night, and by the time we were doing it, it was really a bit too dark to film. So I thought I would just add the finishing touches, the eggs, and I'll see if it needs a bit more rum in a minute. I've got my pudding basins here, ready to be filled. I love making Christmas puddings. It really is such a joy to do this each year. And I always make the traditional Christmas pudding recipe in Delia Smith's Christmas cookbook. I'm sure this recipe is probably online as well, so I'll link to it if possible. But my mum's been making this recipe ever since I can remember, and it's really nice to continue with that tradition. So I'm going to get this tea cloth off and give my mixture one final stir. So I've got my 2 pudding basins filled. I wasn't sure if I'd have enough for this third little one, and I didn't, but that's fine, and you can just use whatever sized pudding basins you have too. We've got 2 nice puddings ready to go here, and I've got my cut out grease proof paper that I'll pop on top of each one, wrap them in foil, tie them up, and they'll be ready for steaming. But what we also want to do today is to try to get to the Christmas fair at Ripon Cathedral. So I'll take you along to that. I'm really excited to attend my first little Christmas fair in Yorkshire, actually. So I'm going to get ready for that as well. back from the Christmas fair at Ripon Cathedral. It was really lovely. We had so much fun wandering around the stalls. I'll show you what we got in a moment. Mum treated me to a few little early Christmas gifts, which was very sweet of her. And we also sat for a moment where the choir were practicing, they were rehearsing, and it was just a really peaceful little moment when we sat and listened. So that was just wonderful, and it felt very, very festive. I've got a hot chocolate now to warm up a bit because it's getting very chilly out and it's getting dark so early now. So we've closed all the shutters up, got the lights on, and I'm ready to get cozy. I've got my Comfort Book Club video going up very soon, but first let me just show you what I got from the Christmas fair. So I got some writing paper. Well, Mum actually got this little notelet set for me. I'll just take the tissue off because we saw a lovely stationery company that had a stall at the Christmas fair. So it's Susan Brunskill for Suzel and Co, and they had some gorgeous stationery sets, and of course my heart was taken by this adorable little robin. So this one I think was their sort of notelet and envelope set. So yes, it's called Suzel and Co Fine Art Stationery. And I'll put the link in the description box because they had such gorgeous writing sets and card sets. Oh, look at that. It's just so sweet. I'm just so thrilled with it. So that was really lovely. And then the Ripon Bookshop had a stall there too. And Mum got me a couple of books. So I was really taken with this rather charming collection of James Herriot stories. I just thought how pretty that cover is. And I think it will just be a really nice little collection. I'm sure I know all of the stories in here already, but James Herriot is such a favourite writer of mine that it's really nice to have a collection of some of his stories like this one, and it will inspire me to sit down and read this. And I just love his writing so much that I know I'm going to really enjoy getting cozy with this book at some point. So I was really thrilled with that. And then the other book was also a signed edition, which I'm really thrilled about because it's one of Carol Ann Duffy's little poetry books, Advent Street. I haven't seen this one before. I don't know if it's her new one for this year or if it's just one that I haven't noticed before, but I was thrilled to get it up, to pick it up, and it's signed by her there. So I was really thrilled to get a signed copy, and there are lovely illustrations through this one. I love her Christmas poems. They're always very thought-provoking, so I was really thrilled to get that. And then there was a Bothams stall, Bothams of Whitby, and couldn't resist this adorable Christmas cake, which I think looks delicious as well as very pretty, just a nice little size as well. And then we also picked up this winter brack loaf from them. So I think we might bring this down to Bath actually, because it's quite handy to have a little cake like this. We can enjoy it if we're having a cup of tea in the afternoon at the flat we're renting, then we can always enjoy having a little slice of this. Or I think we are having some people round for wine and cheese a couple of evenings, and if we fancy something sweet too, then this will be handy to have as well. So I was really pleased to pick that up. So yes, I think that was everything. Yeah, that was everything that we got at the Christmas fair, but we felt very festive. It was lovely to go to one for the first time that we've been in Yorkshire, and the cathedral is so impressive. It was really special to go to one there. So I'm going to check on my Comfort Book Club video, which will have just gone live, and deal with that. I'm going to finish my hot chocolate, and then I'm hoping to read a bit more of The Willows at Christmas. I haven't been able to finish this yet this week. I'm about halfway through, and I'm still really enjoying it, but I'll have to fill you in on my thoughts once I've finished it in a future vlog. I was pleased though, because as I mentioned earlier, I'd ordered The Willows in Winter and also Toad Triumphant, and Toad Triumphant just arrived, so I was really pleased. And then actually I noticed there's a list of William Hallward's books at the front of this, and there was another one of his Wind in the Willows ones. It's called The Willows and Beyond, and that actually came out before The Willows at Christmas. I never heard of that one, and when I looked it up, it has a really autumnal cover. So I think he's done a book for sort of almost each season. Obviously, there's The Willows in Winter, very wintry. And then Toad Triumphant is a sort of spring summer one, I think. And then The Willows and Beyond. Oh, and I have to show you the lovely end paper, just as a side note there. I think that's so charming. And The Willows in Winter has the lovely end papers too, which is lovely. But sorry, a little sidetrack there. But Willows and Beyond looks like it might be an autumnal one. Judging from the cover, it looks really autumnal. So that's really nice, because you know how much I love books that sort of go through the seasons like that. So I've ordered The Willows and Beyond, and hopefully I'll get that fairly soon. And then I'll have my little set of the William Hallward Wind in the Willows sequels. So I'm really happy about that. I'm looking forward to reading all of them. But anyway, I better finish this vlog now. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you so very much to all of you who've been pressing the super thanks button on my videos recently. I really appreciate it, but I appreciate everyone who watches my videos and who shows their support by likes and comments and just by watching as well. But I'll see you again in another vlog very soon. Goodbye.